So part of finishing off this rebuild of this small boat is calibrating the transducer. And if you've never thought about exactly how to get your transducer perfectly right, just check this out. So what you're going to need to level out your transducer or get your transducer right, you can either do it with coins. If you're poor like me and you haven't got any money, you just use washers. So washers and a spirit level. Now we're going to drive the boat at the exact speed where I like to really search for fish. So I'm going to get that done, and then I'm going to put the spirit level on the side of the boat and get this thing leveled off. Unfortunately, with the engine running, the audio was horrible, but what I'm doing is using the washers to level out the spirit level as I cruise along at the speed I usually like to sound the bottom out at. I just keep adding washers until that spirit level is perfectly leveled out, and then I just have to remember exactly how many washers it took to level that spirit level out. So I'll shut the engine off and I'll explain my madness to you. I know now that with the spirit level in that position on the back of the boat towards the transom, it is perfectly level with that many washers underneath it, which is crazy because I bought exactly the amount of washers I needed. I didn't think I'd use that many. So now I get back home and I'll show you what I do with the washers, the spirit level, and how I level out the transducer. So now I'm back home. I have to get all those washers back on that spirit level so that I can level this boat out. So I'm going to grab my big stack of washers again. Remember, all you've got to do is just put aside the exact amount of washers or coins or whatever it is you used, and I'll go up the other end of the boat and I'll adjust that out. So all I need to do is raise or lower the boat until my spirit level is perfectly level. So now I know that it's at that setting that I cruise at to check out the sounder and to read images on the bottom of the sounder. So now I'm going to set my sounder from a combination of running it off the bottom of the boat, but also getting it as level as I can at this particular setting so that I know that my transducer beam is running straight down underneath the boat. And it also helps with reading the sounder at speed, because once I'm up on the plane, the front of the boat or the bow of the boat is lifted up, and that'll fold my transducer down a little bit and prevent a lot of bubbles coming up underneath it. Because when you can't read your transducer at speed, it means for whatever reason you're getting a lot of air bubbles under your transducer. So let's go down and take a look. So from underneath here you can see the transducer folds down a little bit. So I've got enough play in my transducer to make sure that I can just level it out, and once I find the sweet spot, I'm going to lock that in really tight. So what I need to do, first of all, and it's harder with such a big spirit level, so I'd strongly recommend you get a smaller one, but the transducer level with the boat at my preferred speed is right about there. So what I need to look at now is how high and how low I have to set that transducer on this bracket. So I'm going to use a straight angle here and just see. That's about, look, it's probably about 10 or 12 mil from the bottom of the boat. So I want to lift this up slightly, because the ideal spot for these is level at whatever speed you want to check fish out at, and about 5 mil or so below the hull of the boat. So, and remember, when I'm planing, so when I'm up on the plane, that transducer, I'm going to wreck my setting now, is going to fold down a little bit, and that's going to help prevent bubbles from getting up underneath it, and it's going to give me a much better reading. So that's the easy way of setting up your transducer.